I want to just quickly touch on a couple of other issues before we run out of time. The roads, regional...
Put up your hands, the roads.
Obviously, it's been an ongoing issue throughout the day that we've been discussing, but what needs to happen to actually change the way these roads are funded? Because some people have pointed to that it's an inequity in how that cash is actually divvied up.
It is appalling. What we are seeing now on rural roads right across regional Victoria, and there's a lot of nods out there, and I know there's people from the Western District in this room, there's people from the Mallee and people from locally. Doesn't matter where you go in rural and regional Victoria and beyond, the lack of maintenance on our local roads over a long period of time has come home to roost, is my view, and that is a responsibility of state governments. Our small rural councils have tens of thousands of kilometres of road that they are responsible to maintain, and without programs like Roads to Recovery out of federal governments and significant support from state governments, they can't actually maintain those roads. So that's been withdrawn. And I heard that the Minister, Allan, stood up and said there hadn't been any cuts to road funding. Well, that's not my experience when I look at the Victorian budget. It's not my experience when I look at the federal budget. The duplication of the Western Highway, cut in the October federal budget. Locally here we've had projects. The Shepparton Bypass, which was going to be really catalytic for that regional community, particularly as it's such a huge transport hub, that's been cut by the federal government. So first thing is to actually get the money and then having mechanisms with which to spend it appropriately on local priorities, because roads aren't just about shifting our fabulous produce from farm to port. They're also about us going about our daily lives, and they're also about keeping people in our own community and who are travelling through safe. So it's about efficiency and safety. And I think the withdrawal of significant funding and decision-making around that, which has happened, and I'm happy to go to the details any time, that's where the first thing needs to happen. You need to get the money on the table. $2 billion was cut from our infrastructure budget in this state alone by the federal government, let alone Daniel Andrews' lack of funding of anything past Werribee.
Well, Senator, I hate to stop the conversation there.
I haven't seen your favours.
Plenty more to discuss, but we are out of time, unfortunately. Thank you very much for making the time to join us today.
Great, and thanks for coming.